Hi guys, this is Caitlin Vanderhoff from Caitlin Vanderhoff Counseling. I'm back on social media looking to start conversations about mental health and related topics. So the way I thought I would do it is just kind of pull from general themes that I'm seeing throughout the week that maybe I've noticed within myself or I've come across a lot, and see how you guys can jive with it and relate. So this week, something that is coming up a lot is self-blame. And how do we understand that? What do we do with it? Is it always true that something is our fault? Especially as this relates to relationships. A lot of people who are especially sensitive will say things like, maybe I was just asking for too much and that's why I was let down, or I'm being unreasonable, this is my fault. And I really encourage people to explore this through a non judgmental lens and a more curious lens, so you can learn where some of these beliefs might come from. A lot of people assume that these are our thoughts, this is the reality, and that is a mistake that really exacerbates a lot of symptoms. It's really important, and what I'll do in my treatment is really stick with it a little bit longer than you normally would and open it up. Why would I feel that asking for things is negative or is my fault if it goes badly? When was the first time I felt or experienced that? Do I experience that often across various relationships? There can be a lot of unconscious patterns that are going on that are holding these belief systems in place. I'd love to hear from people conclusions like this that they catch themselves making over and over again, and even ways that they have interrupted this, because that's really where the path to healing kind of opens up, is if we can even cast a seed of doubt or a shade of doubt over these automatic conclusions, and we can feel more comfortable and less conflicted inside, and more connected with our good intuition that usually does protect us and leads us into healthy relationships and keeps us strong, right? Standing up for ourselves and asking for what we need, rather than when we blame ourselves for things like asking for too much or being too difficult. We really kind of squander our inner knowing. We squander the advocate kind of part of ourselves because of a conclusion that may or may not be true, and certainly needs to be examined. Anything that we tell ourselves and judge about ourselves that we have not heard elsewhere from lots of other outside feedback certainly should be examined a little bit more. If you're noticing something about yourself that everyone tells me I do this thing, that's one thing, and that's a way to be curious. Well, why is this happening, rather than I just shouldn't be doing this? That's also a way to be curious in that case. And if it's something that you've come up with and you've never kind of heard before from the outside, or you have heard it and it has not felt exactly genuine, maybe manipulative or from a certain type of person, there's certainly reason to question and say, well, is this the real reality? Could there potentially be another option? Have I been made to feel this way or to believe these things? It can be really fruitful to just sit with it a little bit longer than you normally would. Any self-judgment you have about yourself and yourself in relationship, and consider other possibilities, right? With an open heart and with self-compassion in mind, hopefully as much as you would have for another person. So just some insight for today, something to talk about with a friend or a significant other, or journal about. And I really hope to have more conversations about this topic. I certainly can relate